Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about collecting. And in this episode today, I'm going to be talking about collecting, what the definition of collecting is, and why I collect what I collect. And we'll go from there. So let's get it started. Hey guys, Rob here. So, today in this show I'm going to talk about collecting. And first thing is collecting. Well, what is collecting? Collecting is gathering or bringing things together of certain things. So, but that's just the definition of collecting or a rough estimate of what collecting is. What honestly collecting is to me, is there's so many different things that I like about collecting. A lot of times, whether it's collecting something that, I loved, when I was a child, whether it was something that I saw in a movie or a TV show, to like what I collect for a living, which is autographs, getting to meet actors and actresses and so on and so forth. But what I love to collect, and, I'm what I would call passionate about collecting, is the autographs. It's really cool when you get an autograph from an actor or an actress. You get to meet these people, you get to pick their brains a little bit and whatever. But see, there's so many things that I've collected over the years that, like I've always wanted. Like, for example, you can probably see it up here. This is a M41 pulse rifle from the movie Aliens. It's just a replica, but I've always wanted one. So I have one. And then, I collect, things like Assassin's Creed stuff. Now, the Assassin's Creed stuff, I just love the video games and so on and so forth. Even love the movie. For example, I have one of the gauntlets right here and stuff like that. And then I got a couple of the other gauntlets down here in the bottom. But the reason I collect these things, and what I try to make people understand, is the reason I collect them is because I'm passionate about whether it's a movie or it's a video game or it's something that I enjoy or something that I grew up with. But that's why I collect these things. It's a passion. It's a thing that I enjoy, because that's one thing is that, the Rob factor, or fun and collecting with Rob, fun times collecting with Rob, is the one thing is that this is fun. I enjoy it. I have fun doing it. And that's the part that I'm always been trying to make people understand who don't understand what collecting is, or why I collect these things. Because, some of this stuff, are, to some people, toys. They're just toys that, you grow up with and you throw them away. I could remember when I grew up, and I remember having the original Star Wars figures and stuff. My brother had them and I got them and stuff like that. Had no idea. And that's the thing. You have no idea that down the road that these things become collector's items. They become worth money, and especially worth money to people that grew up with the stuff. And that's the part that, that's not really why I collect this stuff. I collect it because I either grew up with it, or I enjoyed it, or something was fun about it. Now, see the action figures here, I collect them because, well, one, they're cool action figures. They got a lot of detail to them. But the other thing is that, to me, it's something that I remember, something that, I remember when I got this. There's that story behind it. Whether it was the movie that I saw, or, the things that I, remember when I was watching it, or, you remember those certain scenes from a movie where you're like, oh, I remember that part. And I remember this, like even with that pulse rifle up there, when you watch the movie Aliens, you see that pulse rifle and you're like, oh, the sound it made, the putting the clip in, and the whole talking about it, the over and under, pulse rifle and so on and so forth, and it always had the number 95 on it, and things like that, and then the color and the sounds, so on and so forth. But that's the thing, is you get that passion, you get that feeling for that. Well, it's kind of the same way when I get an autograph, because now what you're doing when you get an autograph from someone is you get an autograph from the person that played a certain character, and a certain character that you liked in this certain movie. And a lot of times when you get to meet those people in person, you get to pick their brains a little bit and see where they were, because a lot of times these actors or actresses that are playing these characters either read about the character in a book when they were younger, or have always wanted to be that character. So when you get a chance to meet this person, you get to pick their brain a little bit, and you get to ask them questions or whatever. And I remember the first time I met someone to get their autograph, it was super cool. But I was also, I had a little fanboy going on, and it was just like nervous and freaking out, and I just remember for the first person I ever met was William Shatner, Captain Kirk from Star Trek. And the thing is that I just remember, like, I walked up to him, and here I was in my head going, this guy is Captain Kirk. This is the man who sat in the chair, who told people, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing, so on and so forth. And I mean, he was the captain of the Enterprise. And I walked up to him, and I'm just shaking, don't know what's going on, and stuff like that. And all I remember is William Shatner, the person, said, hey, how are you doing, and told me to relax and calm down, and everything is fine, and I'm still shaking, just don't know what's going on. And so for me, it was like, I didn't know what to expect until he started talking to me, and then I realized, hey, he's a human being. And that's the thing, is that we a lot of times forget that these people are human beings. And so what we need to do, is we just need to relax and compose ourselves. And I went up to him, he shook my hand, and stuff like that, and he asked me what my favorite episode was, and I said, well, I watched all the movies. My favorite movie, of course, was Wrath of Khan. Just loved that movie. And then I put in front of him a picture of Captain Kirk, and he signed it for me, and he says, hey, just remember, we're human beings too, and and stuff like that. And I just remember, like, moments like that. That's why I collect autographs, is for those moments of just getting to meet these people and so on and so forth. But that's what I want to understand, and I want people to understand, is why people collect things. Now, see, like, I collect autographs, but I collect also little other things and whatever. I'd like to know what other people collect out there that they're passionate about, because it could be anything. I mean, it could be the action figures, it could be the props, the weapons, whatever, But see, everybody has their own reason why they collect something. And that's what I want to know from you guys out there, is I want to know what you guys enjoy collecting. So, what I like to tell people is, hey, I just started this show, starting this new thing and whatever, but I'd love to see in the comments down below, I'd love to see people putting in there what they enjoy collecting, or how much they enjoy collecting, because I know that I'm not the only one that collects autographs. But see, I'm also not the only person that collects. There's people out there, some people are nervous about putting what they collect out there, because they think they might be made fun of, because I mean, I've even heard of people collecting Beanie Babies, or there are people that collect the Star Wars stuff, and there's people that collect Star Trek, and there's people that collect bottle caps and stamps and coins. And I mean, I know of a guy who collects the chew tins which I know sounds gross. It's like, what? What? But hey, everybody has their own reason collecting things. So that's why I wanted to show you guys on the show today, after I talked a little bit about what I collect and why I'm passionate about collecting. But I was going to show you, I was going to do a reveal of a piece that I had recently done for me. And the piece was actually done by a company called Print&Frame. And it's a place where I take a lot of my autographs to. And we do these very unique things with each one of the pieces. Now, I have a lot of pieces of art in my collection. And so I bring it to these guys, and once again, it's Print&Frame, and what I'll do is I'll put a link down on the bottom there for the website. And don't worry, I did get permission from the owner to make sure that I can let people know about it. But you know, one of these days or one of these episodes, I'll probably even take you to the place of Print&Frame and show you the step-by-steps that I go through to actually have this done. So anyway, so that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm passionate about, or what my definition is of collecting, and and then talk a little bit about like some of the things that I like to do when it comes to collecting, whether it's this stuff over here or some of this stuff. But I'm also going to show you some other little pieces that down the road you'll see other pieces that I get to reveal. So without further ado, I should probably get into revealing, because I know I've had a lot of people ask me about it, especially friends of mine that know I do this art and stuff. So I actually have sitting right here, not part of the thing, but I did want to get you guys to understand like one of the things that I love to collect. So for example, okay, if you see this right here, the movie, okay, movie is called The Natural, okay, and it's a baseball movie. And it's with Robert Redford, and there's like Robert Duvall, Glenn Close, and Kim Basinger, and whatever, and it has to do with a character called Roy Hobbs. Now, Roy Hobbs in this movie, of course, is not a real character, but it basically says in here that Hobbs finds his dreams shattered when a mystery woman and a silver Buddha had basically put his career on hold. Well, he was going to be a pitcher, and then he became like a, huge baseball star. Well, I fell in love with this movie ever since I watched it, and I can watch this movie over and over, and it's just an amazing movie. But as I said, it's a baseball movie. But it's got so many unique things in it, including the part where and I'm not a big, spoiler alert or anything like that, but there is a scene in this movie where he makes his own baseball bat when he's a young boy. And the baseball bat, he ends up putting a name on it called the Wonder Boy. And the reason I wanted to tell you that is if you have not seen this movie, okay, if you don't know about this movie, definitely go see this. But that's why I wanted to show you this about this movie, because that is what I'm going to be revealing here today. Is I'm revealing a piece of art that I had done quite a while ago, and I've been very excited about it, for The Natural. And it's really cool because it has 3 unique pieces in it. Actually, well, the whole thing is unique, but the 3 pieces is, one is actually a film used piece, one is the autograph, and then the other one is a replica of something that was in the movie. So I'm going to hop over here real quick. I'm going to grab this piece. I'm going to bring it right up here, and then we're going to do the reveal, and hopefully you guys will like it. So hang on one second. So I kind of didn't plan this out just right, but I'm going to put this right in front of you guys so you can actually see what I'm talking about. But this is the reveal for this new piece. So, and here it is. So, might be a little hard to see, but anyway. So this is my new piece, okay, and this has to do with the movie The Natural. And what I'll do is I'll even bring the camera a little bit closer here so you guys can see it. if I can get this to work. So anyway, so you guys can kind of see here real quick on these pieces that, and sorry I don't have a cameraman with me, so this is a one-man show today. But anyway, so you see the three unique pieces in the center there. So, and basically what I want to show you is, of course, inside here is the autograph from Robert Redford, who played Roy Hobbs. So now you're probably wondering, okay, out of those three pieces, because I said one is actually film used, one is the autograph, and one is a replica. Well, I think we know which one is the autograph. Probably be this one right here. So, which one is the replica and which one is the actual film used prop? Well, it's either one of those. Well, I'll make it really easy for you. This one right here, this little patch here, this is actually the replica. And if you can kind of see it, might be a little bit hard, but right here on his shirt, you can actually see he's got the lightning bolt. The lightning bolt was actually also embedded on the actual baseball bat, which I'll show, which of course is down here on the bottom. But I'll give you a view of that in a second. But yeah, this is a replica patch of the patch that they wore on their shirts. But this right here, this is actually a film used prop of the baseball card that they gave out. Now, this came in a big, huge sheet, and if you watch the movie, you'll see it come out on a big, huge sheet. And this was actually one of them. And this was actually given to me by a guy who owns a baseball card company. And I found it online, and he basically, 100% legit and everything like that. So, and I also had a good friend of mine who a lot of times got me autographs and stuff like that. He basically made sure that this was 100% legit. So, and that's the thing, when I go and collect stuff, and I'll talk about it more in other episodes, but when I collect things, I always make sure that I find out if it's 100% or legit or not. And that was the thing too, is that when it comes to autographs, I always make sure that they're 100% legit. Whether it's I get signed in person or I get signed somehow, some way, by a friend of mine or whatever. But I always make sure that they're 100% legit. Like this one was actually sent to Robert Redford. It took a couple months to get back, but once I got it, there was actually a letter that came with it that literally said it was 100% from him. So, but anyway, so this is an actual baseball card. The only thing that's weird about it, though, is that most baseball cards will have statistics on the back telling you what's on the baseball card or what's, the story about Roy Hobbs and whatever. This one, because it was just off of a sheet, the sheet has nothing on the back of it. So it's just all it is just the decal on the front. So, but then you have the picture of Roy Hobbs here with that patch there. So, other than that, you can kind of see some of the other details that I decided to add to this. I'll zoom out kind of slowly here so you guys can actually check it out a little bit. So the other thing that's really kind of hard to see, and I can kind of show you here, but this is actually lines here. And it's actually supposed to look like a baseball diamond down here in the corner, which might be a little hard to see. But I can always try to zoom that in for you as well. But yeah, there we go. So zooming out here, I can kind of show you in the corners here. In the corners here, it actually says signed by Robert Redford down in the corner, and then there's this dirt line and a white line that goes up this way. Right here is another plate, and on that plate is the number 9, which is the number 9 is actually the number that he wore on his jersey. And when you go from this side, you have another dirt mark here with a line going through it, and over here it actually says the natural for the movie. So and then of course you go down this way and it's got another white line through here, and then down on the bottom it's actually got the Knights, which was the actual team that he played for, the New York Knights. So, but then of course along the bottom here you got two things down the bottom. You got another dirt mark with the line which goes to home plate, which is actually the home plate which just says signed by, you know, Robert Redford. But right here, this is actually just a print on here, but it's a print of the baseball bat, which is the Wonder Boy, which is the other extra piece that kind of brings this all together. But if you kind of look at the frame too, the frame is actually looks like the material of a baseball bat, which blends all of this together. Now this was actually a combination of myself and the owner of Print&Frame, Joel, who basically we came up with the idea to do this, to do a baseball theme. And the other thing is, it's kind of hard to see, but if I zoom in again, you might be able to see it just barely. But we'll try to zoom in here and see if I can actually show you. So, it's about as close as I'm going to be able to get. But, right in this background, here, there's a baseball diamond. You can kind of see a plate right over here and stuff like that. But it's actually a baseball diamond in the background. And so yeah, we came up with the idea of being able to do this to make this piece look, you know, something baseball, something cool, you know, something fun. So, but that's once again, it's fun and collecting. So when I do each one of these pieces, I always want something original, something that's never been seen before. And this definitely, because the movie The Natural, you know, when I saw it, I just fell in love with it. Everything from the baseball bat to Roy Hobbs to the baseball cards to even the patch on the side here. So I had to come up with something. So this was what I wanted to do. And it's fun. So, but anyway, so I'm going to move this guy down to the floor. Get him out of the way. There we go. So, anyway. That's all I got for today. But that's what I kind of wanted to talk about with you guys is collecting. You know, what is collecting? What is the definition of collecting? But once again, collecting is mainly different for everybody out there. You know, as I said, collecting is gathering things together. Well, yeah, I gather things like action figures, you know, toys, weapons, whatever you want to talk about, or autographs. I collect them all together. But what is collecting to us as collectors, or to you guys as collectors? It's what are you passionate about? What do you love? What do you enjoy? So, once again, I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. If you do enjoy it, hit that like button for me. And if you're first time here, I hope you liked the show. And if you did, hit that subscribe button for me. And other than that, I will see you guys out there. Have a good one. See you later.